Welcome, friends, to Monday Mark C. Comics Talk here on Clobberin Times. Here we are at issue number 287 on YouTube, but number 987 overall. And I apologize for my tardiness this time. It was kind of a last minute thing. Paulie, our good buddy Paulie at Latino Slant, had decided that he wanted to do a reaction um, stream to the Moon Knight trailer, which ABC debuted on halftime of their Monday Night Football wild card playoff game tonight. And he asked me to join him. I did. It looked like, it might end before the top of the hour, but you know how these things go. You never can really predict, especially with teams that throw the football so much it stops the clock every way too damn much. But it looked like it. So I joined him thinking there would be plenty of time. It didn't really work out that way, and I apologize, my friends. I'm so sorry to be here so late. But I was hanging out, with my bud Paulie, and he's over there. They just dropped the trailer. And here we are. So, shout out to him. Great to see everyone. I want to thank everybody who joined us on Saturday night for Saturday Night Star Trek. It was just a fantastic time as always. You were all just magnifical, as was my wonderful first officer Raquel. And it was great having our amazing communications officer, anti-derivative Jill, and our great chief engineer hang out with us. That was a lot of fun. And looking forward to do it again. Tonight's just as the kids say, something of a chill stream. I'll just basically, I don't know, well, it'll be comics related because this is comics night. But I didn't really get a topic together the way I wanted to. I'm going to make sure that's always the exception and not the rule as far as not having a topic. I promise that. I don't know, who knows? Oh, I got you, Kal-El. Good to see you, brother. The great Eric K. What's up, Bronze Wrencher? Snorta Poopy. What's up, buddy? Snorta Poopas Cuber. Can't say it like Raquel. I'm sorry, bro. Comic Relief Crusader. Let's see who else is hanging out with us. Max Redstone. Good to see you there, bro. Bark D with a C. Hope you're feeling better, bro. Lee Anthony Davis. Welcome, my friend. Good to see you. The great Hungry for proper emotional attachment to the Zoom, a.k.a. the great Hungry Boy. Good to see you, brother. I saw J-Man earlier. I don't know if you're still here, but J-Man, great to see you, pal. Fight him outsider. What's up, bud? Let's see here. Mr. Angel, what's up, Chef? Good to see you, my friend. D-Bud, what's up, Man of Iron? Good to see you, bro. Let's see here. See if I'm backtracking the chat a little bit. Make sure I got everybody. Bop, 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 bop. Think that about handles. I hope I got everyone, but anyone else, please say hello. Good to see you all. Max says, I'll say it like Raquel. Please do. Please do, Max. The trailer for Moon Knight, it's like trailers are. It was interesting enough. I mean, Moon Knight has a weird history. I mean, I guess a convoluted history. There's so many people, and I had a lot of things I wanted to say about it when over there, but again, it just took so long I had to get out of there. So there's a lot of stuff I wanted to say about the character for Paulie and his audience that I didn't get to say. But Moon Knight, the lovely Sherry, beautiful girl. What's up? Always great to see you, Shelly. I keep doing that. Sherry, I'm so sorry. Not that we mind if Shelly pops in either, because we love Shelly as well. Not that we know who she is. But sorry about that. Ugh. But Moon Knight has had, since he first appeared in Werewolf by Night, was it 32 or whatever, he's had something like 7 or 8 series. Most of them were miniseries, granted, but one was a regular series. When I first saw Moon Knight, I saw him. I think I saw him in Defenders or a couple times and things like that. Isn't it true Moon Knight is just riding on Jack Russell's reputation by night? I don't know. I can't seem to stick with any Moon Knight books. Yeah, I hear you there. When I first saw Moon Knight and actually read him. I mean, I saw him in Defenders, but he had a backup in the Hulk magazine that was called Hulk. After it was the color version of the Hulk magazine, and Bill Sienkiewicz, who was basically in his Neil Adams phase, did some backups. That was one of the first times I really paid attention to Moon Knight all that much. And at that point, they were, taking him away from what he kind of was earlier. And then Marvel launched his own series around, what was it, 80-ish or something like that. Soon to be a direct sales comic, Moon Knight. Again, it was Doug Minch and Bill Sienkiewicz. In that comic, the whole thing about Khonshu and this god, and this god giving him his abilities and all that stuff was kind of made where it wasn't. I mean, we weren't really sure whether that was in his head or not or whatever. But there have been so many different. I mean, you see him everywhere. He was in what, West Coast Avengers or Avengers. He was in. He had his own series. Then just every once in a while he would just pop up with a miniseries or something like that. And I always thought it was pretty cool. I got to admit, I bought his regular series by Minch and Sienkiewicz. I didn't really buy into the stuff when he was in West Coast Avengers. And when he did that second miniseries, first miniseries or whatever he did, Fist of Khonshu or whatever, I don't think I bought that one that much. Who wrote that thing? Alan Zelentelez or whatever. I can't even remember. I mean, it was early 90s or whatever. So, I like Moon Knight, fair enough. But he's not someone important to me like Daredevil or Batman. I mean, I like the fact, I was, Phantom Outsider. I agree with that. I kind of like, I always like him with the multi-personality, so you weren't quite sure who he really was. I like that stuff too. This trailer looks like it's going to have a lot of stuff. My impression on the trailer is it's going to be very Origin-ish. The thing is, we were looking at it, Paulie discovered there's only 6 episodes. Now, again, it looks kind of cool. Oscar Isaacs is a great actor. I don't know, but see that I believe me, I'm not trying to make excuses for the fools at Disney or Marvel Studios. But there's so much. He's not that important of a character, which is fine. Makes it easier for them to do whatever they want. And there's so much that they're probably going to be cherry picking and going all over his lore or his mythos or whatever to choose. I don't know how much it'll be like. Look, I love the Daredevil show. It lifted a lot of Miller and some other stuff, but mostly a lot of Miller. And that is exactly my point there, J-Man. You're not going to get a lot of Moon Knight. I love the first season of Daredevil. You got Daredevil. At least you got him in the Black Ninja costume. I didn't really care for that much. I thought they did it too long. I wanted a costume. We had to wait till the last freaking episode. Nevertheless, you got a lot of Daredevil. It was just maybe not the way I wanted him to look, but we got a lot of Daredevil. My suspicion is this is going to be oddly paced, just like all of the other Marvel shows. And Hungry Boy says, I'm sick of Origins over and over again. How can we have a good show film if we never get past chapter 1? Yes, and with only I can understand a 12-part show or an 8 or 12-part show spending some time on the origin, but when you only get 6 episodes, I don't think we're going to get much of Moon Knight. They showed one scene, and I'm not super in love with the costume, but they show one scene. I guess it's going to have. I mean, obviously, we're not going to know what's in his head, what isn't. I don't know. Again, it's what all I can tell you is the trailer pretty much did to me what a trailer should do. It made me go, I'll give it a look see, because it's a Moon Knight TV show. Whoever thought there would have been one of those. And I tend to agree with J-Man that it's going to be Oscar just having mental issues for 45 minutes with 5 minutes of Moon Knight. That is my assessment as well, but you never know. Since the first X-Men film, I've also been sick of Hollywood dirtwads hating on real costumes. Me too. Me too. So I'm neither excited nor necessarily all that put off by it. Fam outsider. Always thought Moon Knight was stealing comic book space from the Shroud. Well, the Shroud, there's an obscure. I like the Shroud though. I kind of like Shroud. And the Shroud, they didn't really overdo him that much. You didn't see him a lot. So Max Redstone has a limerick for us. What could it be? Steve Mitchell, what's up, bro? Good to see you, bud. Let's see here. Max Redstone's limerick is Wesley Crusher had his own comic capers. The issues diapered just like water vapors. You might think it's a trap since the contents are all crap. That's why they printed it on toilet papers. Thank you, Max. Did you know that there really was Marvel Comics toilet paper? Oliver Belamonte, hello there. Did you all know that? And don't go for the low-hanging fruit joke of, well, of course, it's all toilet paper. No, I mean, there actually was actual toilet paper marketed with Marvel Comics on them, strips on them. You could imagine the jokes that were followed by that, but it really existed. I bought it. I think I bought it, or at least I carried it at one of my shops that I ran. I forget which one. But there was Marvel Comics toilet paper. Oliver says, Clubby, it's unusual to me, actor Oscar Isaac getting the Moon Knight role, yet he poorly played X-Men's villain Apocalypse. Yeah, well, you can't blame him for necessarily that. He's a great actor, but I didn't even watch that thing, but those X-Men movies are all kind of terrible. Hello there, Mr. Gas Mask Animations. Good to see you. So, Oliver, I didn't even watch that one, but I still think Oscar's a good actor, but sometimes when you got bad scripts, there's nothing you can do about that. So he might be the best thing in this show. You never know. He'll probably be pretty good in it, I'm sure. Again, he's a good actor. Yeah, it was basically marketed as Marvel Comics toilet paper. I'm not kidding. It's like I said, the joke wrote itself in that case. Yeah, so yeah, J-Man, and that's an X-Men expert right there. He says all the X-Men movies suck to some degree. Yeah, I mean, I don't really like any of them, to be perfectly honest with you. And there were 2 or 3 I didn't even bother watching. I watched most of them, but for me not to watch any comic film, that's saying something. Marvel had their own TP. I knew that Marvel was once a true quality product. Indeed, Max, indeed. So sorry about that. Yeah, so again, I can't say I think in better days, if we were in better days of the MCU instead of the MCU, and this doesn't, I don't know, the trailer didn't make it look like there's any kind of MCU stuff in there. I'd probably be a little more excited. But, it's only 6 episodes. I sat through Peacemaker, all the 3 episodes of Peacemaker last night. So, proof positive that I'll sit through anything. I've sat through the first 3 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett. So, yeah, I'll sit through anything. Pretty much, within reason, I've always said this. When people say, you're going to watch that? I go, yeah, watch anything. I mean, it's bad, it's bad. If it's good, it's good. Because sometimes you get surprised. But, if I'm capable and I have a way of watching it, so some things I won't go out of my way to watch. But I'll watch it. I mean, again, I have free access to Disney Plus and HBO Max. And there were some people ranting and raving how great Peacemaker is. And so I decided to go ahead and watch the 3 episodes last night. I think there are 3 more coming. There are 8 maybe this year. I can't remember. I think maybe 8 episodes. I don't know how many. I don't know. Did anyone else watch Peacemaker? Did anyone else like it? There's something, there's some funny stuff in Peacemaker. And I felt dirty after watching it. I needed a shower after watching that thing. You know where I'm coming from? Because I think James Gunn is a scumbag. I mean, he makes me feel guilty about laughing at something, in a sense. Because some of it's funny. And it is fun. Like I say, it is. Yeah, Mark D says it's yeah, he says it was juvenile humor, but it's funny. But it's sometimes you can go too far. I mean, Mr. Reagan says no matter if it's good or bad, I watch. I want to have my opinion on it. Then I decide if I continue to watch or not. That is a fair course of action. There's a fair couple. That's the way to be, Mr. Angel. You just, if you're interested in it, watch it and form your own opinion. That's what I say. And if you're not interested in it, why bother? But I'm interested enough to watch a lot of things. If they're comics related, I usually watch them. Almost 90-something% of the time, I'll watch them and form an opinion because very often I get asked about a lot of that stuff. Mark says, I thought the last episode of Peacemaker, or the first episode of Peacemaker was funny. Definitely, yeah, but after a while, it's just wallowing in filth, and it's just like Andrew Clavin, one of my favorite commentators. He did a review of The Suicide Squad, and this is a guy who's he has his politics, but he's very fair. He's a writer himself. He's a Hollywood film writer and a novelist himself, a very well established one. So he's fair to artists. He is an artist. And so he'll be, even though he has his views, which skew conservative, he is an artist. He believes in conservatives should, definitely be part of the culture and enjoy and appreciate and participate in art. And his artistic review of The Suicide Squad he said it was entertaining and it was well made and it was funny, but for the wrong reasons. And it's still an immoral wreck. It's an amoral, evil wreck. It makes you laugh, but you're laughing for the more base of reasons, the most base and ugly of reasons in a lot of cases. And I'm not saying you should be a stick in the mud or get a stick up your ass about stuff. I'm just saying sometimes it's the nihilism. Okay, it can be funny, but it just goes nowhere and has no redeeming quality. J-Man says, Peacemaker, all the characters are ruined, but I do love some trauma-style movies. So there's that. Vigilante, he's hilarious, but he's terrible. What they did to Vigilante, and I have no special love for Vigilante, the Adrian Chase Vigilante, but it was just, after a while, it stops being funny. Steve Mitchum says, won't watch anything that John Cena is, and after he bowed down to apologize to China for saying that Taiwan is a country. Yes, he's a piece of crap. I'm with you. I don't blame you one bit, dude. Shocked there was a sex scene in Peacemaker. Those mostly have disappeared. Yeah. Oliver says, I was kind of disturbed when Peacemaker pretended to be remorseful when he killed Colonel Flag. Yeah, him killing Flag in the Suicide Squad really aggravated me. He's not a sacred character. He's a very, really kind of a small potatoes character from Charlton, even when he was with Charlton, and not much of a DC character either, really. So, but I thought Cena looked funny in the role. But it's just, after a while, yeah, it's funny, but it's just, I'm okay. It was funny when they had a conversation about Batmite and talk about how he really exists. Batmite really exists in that universe. Because, see, this is taking place in the crapbag, DC Snyderverse, even though I'm sure, and it probably pissed off Snyder bots, which is fun because of how non-seriously it takes the DC universe. So this, I mean, Gunn is undeniably funny sometimes, and he does, this show is funny. It's just, I watch it and I feel, like I said, I feel dirty watching it. I feel like I'm wallowing in this filth of, yes, there's funny stuff in it, but it's written by a bunch of moral degenerates who don't care about us. Who don't care about it. I mean, and who don't care about heroism and stuff. I mean, they put some of that stuff in there, like he's genuinely shamed by his horrible father. Why do that? Why even have the father character in it? I mean, you got to give this to Gunn. At the same time, he'll take risks and put a lot of disturbing stuff in his work. And that is an artist. I'll give him that. Gunn will put some really messed up stuff in his work. It does piss off the Snyder bots. That's a big bonus. It is a big bonus. And I mean, again, they have a discussion about Batmite, and he's real. It was fantastic. I agree. Phantom Outsider, yeah. It appears the lowest common denominator, and sometimes I guess I have a little lowest common denominator in me because I laugh at some sick shit. And some of that sick shit was really funny. It's clever, it's funny. But like Clavin said, he walked away saying, this is funny, it's clever, it's well done, and it's for the wrong reasons, and it shouldn't be, but he says you have to give credit where credit is due. Gunn is I don't know. I like his Guardians of the Galaxy films. He wasn't allowed to cross too many lines with those because he's done some really. Look, I love the movie Slither. I thought that was hilarious, but it was his own movie, so he can do whatever he wanted with it. He gets a hold of Marvel characters and he takes them pretty outrageous and he makes them household names almost with his Guardians of the Galaxy films. But then he gets the Suicide Squad and kind of goes a little farther because no one cared at that point what he did with those characters. And now he gets Peacemaker. And I don't know. It's funny. I mean, the show is funny. I got to admit it. It's just, after a while, though, it gets a little repetitive. In the third episode, you get the feeling that he's trying to decide what he can do to shock you next. He is a shock director. Gunn can be a shock writer and director. Yeah, Oliver, I kind of liked Eagly. He's also a one-note director. After a while, all the snark and sarcasm and stuff, you're like, yeah, it gets a little bit old. And I just wonder how that's gonna play out. They started to almost humanize the really hot blonde character. I loved her, of course, the actress, and then she commits flat-out murder. I don't know what they were thinking with Vigilante. I don't know. Who knows? Whether I might watch it again. I don't know. I really don't care if I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying I might turn it on. I might not. I can really probably find something else to watch. I probably only got one more episode of Book of Boba Fett in me, but before I'm just dead tired of that. Book of Boba Fett. But I'll give Moon Knight a shot. Yeah, I'll watch. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, the trailer neither excited me nor bothered me. I was like, okay, it's trailer, looks interesting. I can tell where they're going. J-Man kind of nailed it. It's going to be origin. Moon Knight, it's called Moon Knight. And it'll be, I mean, if it's anything more than 6 issues, listen to me. 6 episodes of Origin, I will be shocked. I hope it is. I hope we get a lot of cool stuff with the character. Yeah, we'll see though. Mr. Angel says, from a European perspective, the American shows are rather tame. In Europe, the moral about erotic scenes on TV and in movies is way more relaxed. Yes, so I've understood. Yeah, sex scene that kind of crap doesn't bother me. I mean, it doesn't really need to be there either, but I don't really care about that too much. But yeah. Mr. Angel says, if you want good Star Wars, watch the Star Wars Vision series. Those are actually good and well made. I watched about four or five of those, I think, and some of them were okay. I think I just stopped after a while, but I watched a few of those, Mr. Angel. I kind of like the Lone Wolf and Cub type one that they did. I thought a couple of them were all right that I watched. I'm always down for some cool animated stuff. Looked like I think it got a little bit too much in the anime stuff after a while. But it was interesting, and it was done again. You can watch those whether even if you don't like them much, and go, those are stories done by people who want just to tell good stories. That's what I took away from it more than anything. So yeah, I thought it was okay too. I thought they were all right. It's just, I don't know. You take something like Peacemaker and you just got to make it all. I don't know. What's really weird is now we have two Charlton characters in live action: Peacemaker and Judo Master. Judo Master was a joke too, but again, he's a character that means nothing. He's kind of a dopey Charlton character, became a dopey DC character that almost never got used that much, I guess, and he's just weird. I don't know. And then you got James Gunn doing Guardians 3. Maybe that'll be good. I guess he's doing that, right? Well, who knows? You always like to have something to look forward to watch. Doesn't usually turn out that way, though, does it? No. Maybe there'll be something more. Yes, Phantom Outsider, what they call Judo Master, just like the Adrian Chase Vigilante. They're both in Peacemaker. And yeah. Yep. I guess I don't know what's going to be next. The Fighting Five. What other Charlton characters will they put in there? J-Man says, why is the Suicide Squad central focus of the DCEU? 2 movies, a TV series, even Birds of Prey is connected in only one standalone Superman movie. That sucks. That's a good point, J-Man. I got to tell you, I never was all that big. Suicide Squad was a little bit different when it originally appeared in the Silver Age, and I didn't really read that much of that. But in the late 80s, the John Ostrander Suicide Squad came out. It never did a thing for me, but I had friends who liked it. Which is fine, of course. It was never a series that I really got into that much, but it was, it had a following for sure throughout the 80s. And of course, that gave it, the Ostrander series, and then later other, I think, subsequent series as well. But I never really cared about Suicide Squad. Yeah. And J-Man, that's exactly why. Villains teaming up just doesn't really interest me that much. I'm not saying it's terrible, just I don't know, I just don't get into it. I don't like that kind of muddying the line. I like villains to be villains. I mean, I can understand it's okay, but I just don't really get into it that much. Oliver says, Clobby, I don't understand. In the Book of Boba Fett, in an episode where I saw other bounty hunters, other bounty hunters have colorful pod bikers. It's like they added Power Rangers. Oh yeah, you talking about the they were just a kiddie gang. They were a kiddie gang that Boba recruits for some weird reason. That was, the Power Rangers bikes did not go over well, even with some people who liked the show. And a lot of people liked the show. Hungry Boy says, for me, enjoying Ostrander was dependent on who drew for him. And usually it was Luke McDonald. I know Luke McDonald drew a lot of that series on Hungry Boy, but I don't remember all the other artists. You could probably tell me. But I just didn't read it that much. Again, I had nothing. Look, I liked Ostrander on, well, some of his Firestorm kind of got on my nerves after a while. I liked him on Grimjack, of course. So I had nothing really against John Ostrander, but I don't know. Suicide Squad never interested me, but a lot of people, liked it and everything, which is, fine. I never had to order a lot of them. Let's put it like that. But that doesn't mean anything, does it? So, I don't know. That's a good point, J-Man. Why they have so many? Why they're so? Well, I think I think I have sort of a commentary on that. Why so many of these titles are based on these villains is because right now MCU and DC and all the comic companies and the movie people like blurring the line between heroes and villains. They don't like having out and out villains now. They don't like it. And they got no one acts like heroes anymore. Kal-El, I like when villains team up because they inevitably betray each other in most cases. Well, there you go. But stories about villains can be okay. Look, I used to buy super villain team up, but it had Doctor Doom and Subby in it, so and Red Skull and people like that in there. But they also had heroes in there. The aforementioned the Shroud, remember him? So I villains are crucial to superheroes and to heroes in general, even if not outside of the superhero genre. It's just that I don't really. I mean, once in a while, it might be a novelty to see a story about one of them, but heroic fiction is very important to me. So I tend to lean that way. I love heroic fiction, be it superheroes, be it other types of heroic fiction, pulps, or whether it's westerns, cops, or spies, whatever it is. I like the heroes better. I don't really care much for villains other than as a tool to prop up the hero. To be perfectly honest, that's what they're for, in my opinion. Jamin, when you were a shop owner, did any customer ever buy you a Christmas present? I actually bought my shop owner a gift. I was wondering if that was weird. J-Man, I think so. I think a couple of friends may have brought me some presents. I know one time a friend brought me a birthday cake. It was Claude. He brought me a Cerebus shaped birthday cake. For those who are not familiar with Cerebus the aardvark, I had a Cerebus birthday cake. But generally speaking, I want my villains fighting my heroes. I mean, that doesn't mean you can't do good stories with them sometimes. I'm not saying any of that. Hungry Bush says, may I politely half disagree on the villain? No. If you don't disagree rudely, you can't disagree at all. Don't be ridiculous, Hungry Boy. Politely or however you want to do it, rudely, it's okay. Here, we're us guys. We're the Clobberers. We can take it. We're like Klingons. We punch each other in the face to say hello. Dude, that's okay. I would be interested in your thoughts on that and disagree. Hey, look, you think I agree with me all the time? I say I never agree with my dumb fat ass. So no, dude, go for it. And I would love to hear your thoughts on that, Hunger Man. And look, you're a friend here, dude. You never have to stand on ceremony about here. And you certainly have to ask to disagree. Disagree away, buddy. I'll probably end up agreeing with you. That's how agreeable I am. I just thought that was funny. Like, yeah, hey, go for it. Wait, look, and that's another thing that dovetails into something I wanted to talk about, actually. Clobberin, I'm sort of confused in the Suicide Squad on how did Captain Boomerang acquire super speed when he never became in contact with the Speed Force? Plus, Suicide Squad game is coming out. I didn't know about the game, and did he have super speed? When did Captain Boomerang have super speed? J-Man, take it easy, bro. Have a good one. Hungry Boy says, as an artist, we scribblers do better work when the villain is more of an anti-hero like Captain Nemo or Phantom of the Opera, who is a murderer. Who wasn't? Oh, I got you. Look, believe me, I'm that's not a part of the field I know much about. A lot of people like the villains. I mean, look, in fact, I plan to do tonight's show about villains, but I didn't get a chance to get it all together. I love villains, though. I'm just saying, on the whole, I don't mind, like, if there's a comic, like, say there's a series like Supervillain Team Up. Like I said, I bought it. I don't mind them being portrayed as nuanced. But yes, I don't remember Captain Boomerang ever having super speed, Oliver. But I don't know. But you know what? That brings me to something, because we were talking about how disagreeing and agreeing and all that stuff. And I know there's something going in the chat, but it's going by fast. I'm trying to concentrate here. With regards to the book of Boba Fett, even though it's not necessarily a comics talk thing, it's something that has been going on in this fandom that we have for a while. I thought I would just address it. We're not getting too serious because, again, and we don't get political here anyway. I don't anyway. You guys can do what you want. I don't really do it much. But, okay. There are a lot of people. I'm not naming names. There are a lot of people who love the Book of Boba Fett. Then there are people like me that didn't like it very much. There's only 3 episodes in. Just didn't like it. And there are people who seem to be forgetting 2015 and 2018 when Star Wars was destroyed. To me, it was destroyed in 2015. I hated The Force Awakens from get-go. The destruction was already in. It's just that Last Jedi just sealed the deal. But as many of you are well aware, a lot of us are here because of a lot of the fighting that went on over what happened with the last dead guy. I absolutely agree with that, Hungry Man, about Doom. Absolutely. So, and a lot of what the things that created this, whether you call yourself Fandom Menace or not, just whatever grew out of the whole Fandom Menace thing, which is a lot of YouTubers who simply want to have fun and have an opinion and don't want to see anybody who just doesn't want to see our IPs that we love murdered and butchered, destroyed, and vandalized. One of the things was there were the people on many of us considered the wrong side, which was the Disney Defense Force side. We're telling you that if you didn't love and accept and get in line or bend over for Disney, however you want to call it, then shut up. You're not allowed to have an opinion. And if you're here, basically, if you're not going to get in line, so anytime you don't like something that we like, shut up. And that's what kind of got a lot of people together of all walks of life and all types of opinions in different places that said, look, just because I love Star Wars and I hate what they did to Han Solo and Luke Skywalker, and I hate what Disney was doing to Star Wars, which many of us did, we're allowed to say that. Just as you're allowed to like it, we're allowed to dislike it. Some of the same people who were on this side of it, who hated what was done in the sequels, happened to like the book of Boba Fett, and I say good for them. But some of them now are reacting to those who don't like it, with those who are criticizing it and joking around about it, just like the SJW types and all the Disney shills were to them in 2015, 18, and so forth. 15, 17, and whatever it is, and 19. And thank you for that, Hungry Boy. I appreciate you. All of a sudden, a lot of people out of nowhere, just if you don't like book, and I really haven't talked about it that much, and I'm not going to talk about it much on this show because I don't review Disney crap here. I'll talk about it a little bit, but I don't review it. But if you liked it, fine. If you don't like it, it's got to work both ways, though. It can't be just, if you liked it, fantastic. Go off. Because what happened to Echo Base was horrible. And some of you might know what happened to them. Aggressively relaxing. Hello there. Good to see you. But it's got to work both ways, folks. You can't all of a sudden have been on the side of those of us who hated the sequel crap. And then, now that you like something, you're trashing the people that happen to not like it. A lot of people have been critical of this show and even Mandalorian before. I thought Mandalorian was okay. I watched it, but that's beside the point. You can't have it both ways. Echo Base, which is a great channel. I'm a member over there, and they're a big Star Wars channel. They're very positive. They love Star Wars. They just don't like the Disney sequel crap. But those guys, and they're real nice guys. They were critical of Book of Boba Fett episode 1 and 2 and then 3, and they got pilloried for it. They were attacked by a lot of people. Some of their own friends and stuff, but are people who are members of them and things like that. And they were really, really just under assault for it, just because they didn't like it. Who cares if somebody doesn't like something that you like? If I like something and you don't like it, I promise you I'll be fine. I hope you'll be vice versa. I hope you'll be like me and go, if I think something sucks that you like, I hope you'll be, Clobby doesn't like it. Screw him, I like it. But fine. That's what it should be. Kal-El says, that's the difference between the shills and the free thinkers. The free thinkers would never demonize the shills for liking the new stuff, but the same cannot be said for the shills. That is precisely it. That's absolutely it. Aggressively reacted. I've never seen a bad Star Wars, and every liar who says they have is always in line to see the next. Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. You all should have, for those who were there in 2015 on my Blog Talk Radio show and on my Facebook before it. I hate that movie. Hated it every second. The first second I saw it. What I went through that course of that month or so, and what that first day, and what I did. Granted, I stirred some of it up. I stirred up a lot of trouble. I learned from some of that, but the zealots, they were not. There were some zealots not happy with me when Force Awakens came out. Let me put it to you like that. It's a long story, but all I'm saying is just, again, a lot of the same people who were saying stuff like, hey, I'm allowed to dislike The Last Jedi. Just as you're allowed to like it. A lot of the people who were saying that are still consistent. But some of the ones who were saying that are saying stuff like, well, if you don't like Book of Boba Fett, you're just a hater. Yeah, that's Kal-El, without mentioning it, you just nailed it. That's the channel, one of the ones that I'm talking about. They got a lot of flack for just having an opinion. They didn't, and again, the guy that you're speaking of there, I won't go into it, didn't like it. So what? I promise you could hate the hell out of something I love. In fact, I've seen reviews before of something that I think is really great. And so if someone's actually trashing it, I'll listen to their opinion. And if they're funny, I'll laugh at their jokes about it too. It was Analog Toys. I'll name him. Tony's a cool dude. Analog Toys have not liked. It's not over yet. It's the 3 episodes, but have not liked Book of Boba Fett, which is their right to do. And they did a review, and he employed humor. I thought the video was hilarious. I think Tony was hilarious. It was a funny review, and he didn't like it. So what? So freaking what, man? I mean, who cares? I mean, not who cares. I care about his opinion, but I happen to agree with him. But if I disagree with everything he said, I would probably still laugh at that review. I thought it was pretty funny. It was a clever video. So if you don't like it, again, and I've heard a couple other people, just about a year or two ago when Mandalorian was getting some criticism right before the big, Luke thing or whatever. I saw a couple friends, YouTubers that I like personally, saying stuff like, "Well, if you don't like it, shut up." If you're out there saying, if you don't like it, shut up, then you're probably the bad guy. In my opinion, you're being the bad guy. But that's just my opinion. You know what's nice about a free society, Clobberin Times? Everyone can have their own opinion and no one can force an opinion on you. Well, that's the way it would be nice, yeah. Yes, exactly, Hungry Boy. Like I said, if you're saying if you don't like it, shut up. Yeah, and look, at least Kelly Sue, Hungry Boy was just saying if you don't like it, don't buy it. They're not even saying that. There are people saying if you don't like it, shut up. That's even worse. If you're just saying if you don't like it while you're watching it, then that's none of their. Well, then you could just say, "Well, I'm watching it. It's none of your business while I watch it." And maybe I like talking about it. And to me, that's more childish than even saying something like, "If you don't like my politics, don't buy my books. Problem solved." Well, good, because hey, exactly, good advice. But I think that's even worse than Kelly Sue, because you're telling people you should shut up if you don't agree with me. That's what you're doing. And that's what some people who are butthurt defensive about Book of Boba Fett are acting like. Sorry. And you can be someone I really like as a person. If you're doing that, I think you're wrong. What if I don't like Kelly Sue trying to be Daria from MTV when Daria was smarter? Yeah, I don't like that either. Yeah. So, and by the way, I've disqualified myself from reviewing the third episode of Book of Boba Fett because I fell asleep like 3 or 4 times and I missed chunks here and there. And you might say, and usually when I have to review something, if that happens, I just go back and watch it and catch it till I'm able to see it all. I don't really care about. I don't have no interest in going back and watching it. Especially, I woke up at one of the worst possible times and saw those stupid bikes. And then I kind of conked out again, and then I saw the bike chase, one of the stupidest bike chases I've ever seen. I personally don't have the Boba Fettish either, and I was never that big in the character of Boba Fett. But that said, I just don't really. I was open to seeing a good show about him, and I don't particularly care for the characterization and what they're doing to him. I just don't find it interesting at all. Some of the stuff, that's actually taking place not inside a flashback until the biker crap was at least so interesting, mildly interesting, that I thought may have a chance to be good. But that long ass flashback in part 2 really put me off. And then they didn't even deal with that properly. It looks like I missed the whole Rancor scene. I saw the Rancor getting pulled up. I didn't even know Danny Trejo was in it till the next night when someone told me about. Not told me, when I watched someone reviewing it on a video. I missed the whole Danny Trejo bit, and I like Danny Trejo. I would have saw that. I just saw that and go, "Oh, that's cool," but I didn't even see it because I fell asleep. This thing is a bore. Instead of watching more Star Trek and Disney Star Wars, I'll do something less harmful to my soul, like maybe challenge the Clute at speed chess. Deep Roy. Yeah, Mark D with the C's been watching some Blake 7 there, Max. Clobberin Times. Khalil says, "I love their line. Well, this wasn't made for you, especially when it's a continuation of a long-running property that was created long before they were even born. Yes, this wasn't made for you." Yeah, exactly. Itch it. The Catman, a.k.a. D.D. Myers. Good to see you, my friend. Hey. Danny Trejo. Oh, is it Steve Mitchum? I didn't know that. I know. Polly's a big fan of Danny Trejo, and a lot of people like him as an actor. But I don't know him personally. I thought that was kind of funny that he was going to be in there, and then boom. So there you go. Jawa motorcycle gangs like the wild one. But those bikes, boy, they look like, a lot of people keep calling them Power Rangers bikes. They look like those little rides for toddlers out in front of the grocery stores or the Walmarts or the Toys R Us or whatever. You put a quarter in and let your toddler bounce around in it for a couple of minutes. That's what these things look like. They're really terrible. And the chase scene was about as bad as boring as you can get. Even some people who are defending this show for some reason can't defend that. That was really terrible. Mr. Angel, yes. Challenge the cute at speed chess. Now there's an obscure reference to the great Blake 7 episode. Yes, Gambit. Gambit's a great episode of Blake 7. I love that one. A lot of great Avon and Villa stuff in it. I hear you, Steve. I saw a photo of those bikes and I thought it was a joke. They had the actual episode. They had those. Yes. Yeah, Max, if I had not seen it in the actual episode, and then I went on Twitter and saw those bikes because people were putting on, I would have thought it was a meme. I would have thought somebody photoshopped them in there. A lot of people thought they had photoshopped those stupid bikes in there. It's like as a joke. And I would have bought it. If you told me, like if I hadn't seen that and you told me, oh, it's just a joke, somebody photoshopped, I'd go, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. All right, that would have been my assumption as well. If I just saw it, I'd go, oh, come on now. But that's what it was. Episode 3 had the brain spider monk show up from the Tales of the Jabba's Palace book. 10 out of 10, this performative anger is embarrassing. The brain spider monk show up. Wow, okay. Orak was hilarious in Gambit. I love the fact that Orak could just shrink. He's like, Orak has Pym particles. It's pretty funny. You got me. You got me, hungry boy. How the heck can Star Wars material do a boring chase scene? That'd be like Star Trek focusing on weeping, or Doctor Who focusing on nagging. Yeah, exactly. It's terrible. A world made of cardboard. Hello there. Yeah, we're talking about the bikes in that last episode of the Book of Boba Fett. These Boba Fett, I don't know if you saw it. He recruits some stupid, and that was another thing. Why he's recruiting those dumbass kids? I don't know. He recruits some dumb kids who like purposely turn themselves into cyborgs because I guess that's edgy, and they ride the stupidest looking Power Rangers bikes you're ever going to see. I mean, they're just really bad. Yes, Luke Skywalker did used to talk at Womp Rats in Beggar's Canyon. Yeah, I love Orak. Great character. Orak has shrinkage. He has Pym particles. Let's see here. Kal-El says, that's what I thought when I first saw that picture. Then I saw the Analog Toys video. Yeah, again, a lot of people thought the same thing. Who had not seen the episode. They thought that was it was a joke, but just not a good one. Orak loved Forever and Zen too. Slave was rather sad. Yeah, I actually even liked Slave. He was pretty good. Of course, now Boba's ship's not called the Slave One, by the way. Yeah, they pretty much look like Pee Wee Herman's bikes. Yes, Boba Fett's ship is now called. Hey, D-Bud, what's up, dude? Yep, I love Gambit. It was a great episode of Blake 7. Got some Blake 7's fans here. Good, cool stuff. So yeah, Boba Fett's ship is no longer the Slave One. Oh, lordy. Villa, this gallant sporting gentleman, has agreed to challenge the Clute at speed chess. Boba Fett's ship should be called the Bob Iger. Yeah, that's a good one. Let's see here. It's called the Fire something or other, isn't it? Or it's what they changed the stupid name? What I forget the name they gave it. Mark told me, but I forgot about it. The fire shooter sprayer, fire sprayer. What the hell is it called now? That's whatever it is. It's asinine. Oh my goodness. Someone will tell me. But why are you changing the name? What the hell's wrong with these people? Firefly. No, not Firefly. Yeah, right. Get out of here, Firefly. Oliver says, I hope Boba Fett and Fenric, Fenric, yeah, like I think he's Fennec. Fenric reminds me of the Curse of Fenric from Doctor Who. Would meet the Clone Force 99, aka the Bad Batch crew, Hunter, Wrecker, Tech, Crosshairs, and Echo in Book of Boba Fett. That would be interesting. Well, maybe they will. They've got, I believe, 3 episodes to go. The fire dumpster. Good one, Max. Let's see here. Hungry Boy says, I remember the other Clute with Hanoi Jane and a very short skirt, sometimes hot pants, Lucky Don Sutherland. Oh, there you go. Oh, the movie Clute. Yes, I remember that. There are people online that have tracked the movies in the the moves in the Speed Chess game from Gambit. This is high level of dedication. Yes. Deep Roy. Fire sprayer. Is it really called the fire sprayer? Or the fire spray? Pop Culture Republic, hello there. It's either fire spray or fire sprayer. Fire spray, okay. Jesus. Matthew Pounder, what's up, bud? Good to see you, my friend. So, what dumbass thinks the fire spray is a good... Oh, that's a stupid name. It's... Yeah, buddy, there you go. Disney Star Wars for you right there. They can't have the name Slave One on the ship. They can't, because somehow, for reasons. It's just... Duck Disney. Well, what are you going to do? They don't know what the hell they're doing. Let's see. Or I didn't meet a cute female AI at the wrong moment. Yeah. I love that episode. I think Mark said he's in season 3. I can't wait to get somebody on here and do some Blake 7. It's coming soon. It's gonna be Lord Thoth and anybody, and I'm gonna gather some others for sure. I will definitely gather some others for sure. Oh my goodness. So what else is going on out there, boys and girls, in the big geek sphere? What I'm trying to think of. I'm gonna have topics from now on. I mean, usually I don't ride solo like this on a Monday night. Just open comics, and we're supposed to be doing comics and stuff, but. I got an STD. Jesus. Let's see. Power Play. So you've seen Star One, Aftermath, and Power Play. So there you go. If you're on season 3, that's probably Volcano then. The 10 credit touch. Good one, Max. Or Dawn of the Gods. Yeah, one of the two. Sometimes I get those mixed up. You got a lot of great episodes in season 3, though. What I've been rewatching, well, no, this is a comics talk thing. I was about to talk about something that wasn't comics related. Sorry, everyone. What I've been rereading, though, I was actually, because of Moonlight, I was going back and looking at some of my Moonlight reprints, like the Moonlight Epic collection I got on Comixology. And Comicology is just. Does anyone else here use Comicology? I know J-Man had to leave. I was going to ask him. They just like the other night when we were doing our review show. They still kept glitching out. They keep glitching out every 5 seconds when you turn a page on a comic. It's pathetic. I mean, it's terrible. Good Lord. Why? What the hell's wrong with you? No, well. Reenact up pretty much. Oh, I pretty much tore up my Millennium Falcon reenacting the Scorpio crash in my backyard. Nice. Matthew Pounder, season 1 is your favorite of Blake 7? I think my favorite season is probably 2. I love 2 and 3 the most. I actually one of those weirdos that likes 4 a lot. A lot of people don't like 4 as much as I do. So what do you say about that? But yeah. Hello there, the Guilt Man. What's up, dude? Good to see you. Welcome. You guys get done with your what was it? Moon Knight trailer reaction stream? Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know. All right. I gotta get my spinner rack video ready. Okay, got you, Guilt Man. Well, thanks. It's good to see you, the Guilt Man. Thank you for being here. But yeah, I think that's what I'll do since we got some, Power Play is one of my favorites, and you got Michael Sheard is in that one. See, I love Star One, Aftermath, and Power Play are like a great trilogy. One day, and this is not a comic show, so I can't do it here, but I'll be doing my top 20 Blake 7 episodes, of course. So, Classic Comics Review. I had a great time doing that review I did with my bud Max Von Priestley a couple of weeks ago, or last Wednesday, actually. And so, I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. So, since we have some comics fans here, and what I want to do is, it didn't have to be. Oh, Hungerboy says, I like all Blake 7's eps, but I see season as an intro to later seasons. Season, which one? Season 1 is an intro. Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah. Season 1, I agree with that, Hungerboy. Yes, I like Trooper Parr from Trial. They were great at making smaller characters very interesting on Blake 7. They would give you like a few scenes with him, and they would make you really feel it when something happens to them. They were brilliant that way. So, what is a comic saga, or maybe one great issue, one story arc? It's tough. Now, again, I only have so many. I'm going to try to do two a month, but I may only be able to do one in most months. As I said, last week we did Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow. But what would be one that would or everyone, if you got anything, throw some out there. If it's one I haven't read yet, who knows? Maybe it'll inspire me. But if it's one I haven't read in a while, we'll see. World According to Blake 7 Fans Night. Paul Derek kept on breaking the props, especially the blasters. Yes, I agree with that. Hungry Boy. Russ Manning or Alan Davis draw Blake 7 comics. Yes. Hey, the question stands. Believe me, I'd sit here and talk Blake 7 all night. And only a few of us want to talk it, probably. But it is Monday Night Mark C Comics talk. So I have to say, even though we're an open comics talk, I gotta, and because I've already swerved away from comics too many times. But I thought you got, since we had the time, you guys could help me with a couple of suggestions. I mean, whatever the suggestion you want to make, Matthew Pounder. We did my great buddy Mark C and I, we've only were able to do two. We had a lot of other things planned. We did Justice by Alex Ross and Jim Kruger and Krieger or whatever, and then we did The Coming of Galactus by Kirby. So just throw stuff out there. Batman, Whatever Happened to the Cape Crusader? Let's see here. Steve Mitchum looks, I don't know if it would be your bag or not. It's got very, very it has very low budget, very cheap sets. It's just the characters and stuff that I love. But I do love it. I don't know if it'd be your bag or not, but I love it, and that's all I can say. Let's see here. Oliver says, Clobby, I noticed CW's Legends of Tomorrow crew member Nate Haywood, a.k.a. Steel, was making fun of John Cena's Peacemaker. The latest episodes show a buffed-up evil Steel making fun of Cena. Well, I don't know who that guy is, real, because I don't watch that anymore, but there you go. Good. John Cena should be made fun of. Even though I don't like any of the CW stuff either. I rewatch Blake 7 each year, at least once. Mr. Angel, so do I. So do I. Ever since I fell in love with the show in 1986 or 7, whatever it was, I've watched, sometimes all the way binging through them so many times, and other times just throw an episode here and there all over the place. I love it. Okay, the whole Starlin Warlock Mega Saga, I'd love to hear you go on for that. Oh, our good buddy Nick Weiser has just picked that up, big trade up of that, and has read it. Maybe I'll get Nick together in a couple of months to do that one. Good one. There's a good one. There's a good one. Hungry Boy, I haven't read that in a long time. Silver Sable says World Made of Cardboard. I never really read any of those comics that much. But I'm not opposed to it, but I never bought that series when it came out. Let's see, series. Pop Culture Republic. I bought Mage by Matt Wagner. I never bought Grendel that much. Babe and the Butcher, Babe and the Bazeka, Colin Baker the Butcher. Well, that's true. Blake 7 is on BritBox now. Yes. I hear you, Steve. Thank you. Yeah, like I said, it's got like I said, had no budget. It was 1978. And it was British, of course, and was the creator of the show, Terry Nation. Actually, no, I'm sorry, Paul Darrow, one of the stars of the show that I love. He once said, and our buddy Claude and Scott Young heard him say it at a con that they got to see him at. He said, and he was speaking of the original Star Trek when he said, because he said the entire season budget of Blake 7 wouldn't pay for the coffee breaks on Star Trek. And he was talking original Star Trek. The silliest stories ever. That'll be fun. I've got some things planned about some pretty silly stories. That it's funny you mentioned that, Matthew Pounder, because I've been reading a lot of old comics lately. Not a lot, but a few old comics lately, which I love. And I've got a lot of stuff in the works that are good. Well, those are for videos though. But about some of the more ridiculous comics that I might have a little fun with. Ridiculous but fun. Avengers 2-parter, the assassin never fails. I think the assassin never fails. 145 and 146, good one. That's a good. Let's see here. I think Blake 7's. I don't think Blake 7's on YouTube anymore, Mr. Angel. Is it? I think they took it off. I'm pretty sure they took it off. We'll see. I never I know you're joking, Hungry Boy. I have every respect for ElfQuest, but I never read it. I sold a lot of it, and I just never, not my bag. But you knew that. You were kidding. Hey, World Made of Cardboard, thanks for hanging out with us, my friend. It's good to see you. You have a great night. Marty said, I just got my copy of Alien Alamo today by Graham Nolan. Haven't gotten a chance to read it yet. Oh, cool. Graham Nolan's very cool. Great artist. Good dude. Gru the Wanderer. I used to like, I have some Gru. Not all of it, but I do like it. I love Sergio Aragonés. Say Aragonés? Is how you say it? I probably screwed that up. Just ordered Spanish Galaxy. Early Tom Mandrake. Never read it. You know, I remember Spanish Galaxy. I also never read it, Matthew. I was never the big Tom Mandrake guy. I didn't really like him on Spectre either, but and I didn't like him on Grimjack. But you know, a lot of people do like him. So let me know how that turns out. Did you say Night Cardy or did you mean Nick Cardy? Oh, Mr. Angel, someone put him back on there? Because they took him down when they for a while. I guess they've been put back up. Oh, there you go. Loved ElfQuest. To be fair, Peeney was doing a lot of Perez-inspired work. I've met Richard Peeney a couple times, and I think Wendy once. They got some on there on YouTube. Okay, well they put them back up there. I know they're on Daily Motion, but okay, so they're back on YouTube. Good. You're a Mandrake fan? Okay. I have nothing against him. I guess I just didn't really. I guess he took over for. This is one of those stupid childish things, or it was childish, even though I wasn't quite that young. He took over for Tim. Didn't he take over for Tim Truman on Grimjack? And I don't know. I think it was him. Maybe it wasn't. And checked. Blake 7 is still on YouTube. Okay, they put it back. Well, there you go. Good. There you go. Yeah, Daily Motion's terrible. Yeah, you're right about that, Hungry. So let's see. What are some other? You love those issues of Grimjack? Well, there you go. There you go. Did you like his Spectre comics with Ostrander? Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, he did Batman and Firestorm. There you go. Maybe I should look. Maybe I shouldn't trust my old 40-something years ago self, and maybe I should look at it again. If I look at it again, I might like it better. Let's do that. Let's play comic book artists that I didn't like, that I haven't seen forever, and see if I like them better. Who wants to play that game? We got nothing better to do. We're supposed to be talking about comics. Tom Mandrake. What is Tom Mandrake still doing anything? He Googles quickly. That's promising. Let's see here. Here's the Clobberin Times Wheelhouse. Ducks in a Barrel. LSH Fatale 5. Death of Fatal. Oh, you mean, I guess you mean Fatal without the E. Fatal 5. Death of Pharaoh Lad. Great Darkness Saga. Computer Origins. Starlog. Oh, yeah. Love all those. Love it. Let's see here. There's a game to play. Find some old comic artists to look up. Huh. Let's see here. What the hell happened? Okay. All right. He's still around. I hate that Firestorm outfit. Well, oh yeah, well, Bill Willingham was terrific. Yeah, I hate that. I really hate that spot. But that's not his fault. I hate that Firestorm outfit. Oh man, Tom Mandrake. Yeah, hey, there you go. See, I probably like him better now. You talked me into it, hungry boy. I guess I was just pissed off at him. Oh, I know what it was. I didn't like this. I really didn't like this Shazam title much. That's got to be one of them. I didn't like him on Firestorm that much. As I said, it's fantastic now. If I met him, I would go, I think your work's fabulous. I've been a fan for years. I'm kidding. I kid. Let's see here. Clobberin Times. Let's see. Surfer first appearance and coming of Galactus. What was that team? What was the team they faced? That was the Inferior Five. Let's see here. Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't really like the Firestorm run either, but I like a lot of this. I wasn't big on Inspector. Maybe I was just mad at him because I didn't want him to do Grimjack. Let me see here. Let's look at this Grimjack. Ouch. La. Here we go. Yeah. I don't know. After the man going from Tim Truman to this, I don't know, man. Maybe that was just me. Maybe it was just me. I don't know, bud. I think maybe it was just me. I didn't really like him on Grimjack. Let's see here. Mr. Angel, you take care, buddy. You have a great night, buddy. Appreciate you. Phantom Outsider says Avengers 269 through 276. Approx the Masters of Evil attack and take over the mansion. Yeah, that's in the torture episode thing. I mean, a lot of people, wasn't that the siege or something or whatever? I wasn't reading the book at the time. A lot of people I know really liked that story. It looked like it was pretty sadistic, but I hear you. A lot of people like that one, Phantom Outsider. I was way off the book at that point. Steve Mitchell says, I like how it uses the capes and move the eye through the composition. There you go. Okay. Excellent. Oliver says, Clobby, I greatly sympathize on what happened to former DC artist William Meisner Loebs, who penciled Artemis, Requiem, and in 1996, I hated DC letting him go. He could draw. He did Flash for them. Of course, before that, he did his own book called Journey, Oliver. And yes, for Aardvark Vanaheim. And yes, I think it's a damn shame. I don't know what's going on. I haven't been updated on what's going on with William Meisner Loebs, but yes, I'm with you. That's terrible. That is a shame. Let's see. Man, Great Grimjack was good after he did 12 issues and settled into it like Star Trek TNG. To be fair, okay, there you go. Tim Truman's Hawk World. You know, Truman's Hawk World was excellent, but did you think it was maybe a little confusing with some of the stuff going on with Hawkman's origin, or was it just me? It was before Siege. Okay. I seem to remember something about it, but Max says it's great to be free. It's great to be free. It's great to be free from the law. It's great to be free. And we all agree we're not going back anymore. Okay. I don't know why I sang that. I don't know if I felt like trying to badly sing that, but I did. Sorry. Let's see. Let's pick another random artist. Hungry Boy, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who's another artist we should look up from the good old days? We're playing Clobby's Artist Lookup. Let's see. And you could come up with one too, Matthew, if you want. If you have a favorite artist back then. Oh, P. Craig Russell. Oh, God, yeah, he was fantastic. I think I met him at a con once. P. Craig Russell. Amazing. What is he doing now? Still a lot of Elric stuff? Jax Momo, hey there. It's good to see you, my dear. I hope you were doing well. Actually, Steve Mitchum, I'm not sure who you would say. Say it, don't say it. Oh, Bill. Oh, that's a great one. Smiling Bandito, hail. Keely Chow, roll time. What's up, buddy? Well, there you go. Bill Everett is always a pleasure. Make sure I spell it right. Well, you didn't get all you gotta get close. He is in the Clobby's Hall of Fame. I know that much. Bill Everett was a master of art. He was just fantastic. Fantastic stuff. Smiling Bandito. Oh, well, it is great to see you live, my friend. Always great to have you join us live. Appreciate you, but I appreciate you watching the replays as well. We love it. We love hearing that the people are watching either way. Yeah, Bill Everett was a master. Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you there. Let's see. So Bill Everett was a great one. Everett was so far ahead of many of his contemporaries when it comes to anatomy, and his faces were consistent from panel to panel. Yeah. I do like Dennis Cowan, so I liked him on. What did he did? Power Man, Iron Fist, and The Question were two big ones. We did a lot of stuff. I like him. Let's see here. Dennis Cowan, sure. I'm a fan. I love his run on The Question. That's some of his earlier stuff right there. Nice stuff. Mexican Iron Man, dude. Good to see you there, Mike. Appreciate you, bro. With the $10 super sticker, you're too kind, my friend. I'm touched by that, sir. Thank you so much. Mike, I hope you're doing well, dude. And I hope it's been forever, man. I hope we get a chance to talk again one of these days soon, buddy. It's been forever, bud. And I hope you're doing great. Yes, of course. I know you don't use your channel as much, but I do have, anyone who has not subscribed to his channel, please do, because he may start using it again soon. I know he goes on with my buddy Loki on Friday night stuff. Sure, as well. Mexican Iron Man, appreciate you, brother. You are too kind, buddy. Let's see. Kyle, sorry I was AFK earlier. Great to see you there, brother. Always honored to see you pop in there, man. Let's see. Just looking through books, saw MCU 141, second black costume for Spider-Man. Yeah. Am I the only one that didn't like the black costume? Probably. Hey, Tim Stock, what's up, buddy? Good to see you there, bro. Oh, okay. Away from okay. Sorry, man. I misunderstood. I didn't know what that was. But yes, Dennis Cowan, great artist. He was excellent. A lot of times when especially when I'm reading some old stuff these days, Hungry Boy and others, I wonder what some of these artists are even doing anymore. There's no comic industry, and you don't see their names much. Even you don't hear much about them, and some of them are still alive. At least some of the guys from the later Bronze Age. I wonder where a lot of these people are. I mean, I see some of them on Twitter once in a while, twat or whatever, but I don't know where some of these guys. We had a con down here in New Orleans last week, and I don't. A lot of people canceled because of coof crap or whatever, but Ron Wilson was supposed to be there, and he ended up canceling. I hadn't heard anything about where Ron Wilson. I mean, I would, as much as I can't afford to go to a con or anything else for that matter right now, I probably would have tried to find some way to go to that con to get Ron Wilson to sign some comics and to meet him. Not everyone's favorite artist. Not everyone really thinks is a big fan of him, whatever. But I guess anyway. But I like, I love Marvel 2-in-1. I love The Thing. So that would have been cool to meet Ron Wilson. Let's see. A lot of them moved into ad work and multimedia. Yeah, I guess so. A lot of the guys from the 80s and 90s, I guess they did do that. And some do cons. I know that much. Was it Michael Golden does cons a lot now? Mike Zack does as well. So let's see. Did someone I'm thinking, did someone let's see. Hey, Mike, Mexican Iron Man, Mike, did you were you under the weather recently or something, bro? I see some. I missed some of the things in the chat went by me, so I didn't see them. So I don't know. I hope not. So yes, I heard about that Spider-Man page that sold for Spider-Man page with Spider-Man getting the black costume sold for $3 million a page. Oh my goodness. A page of a damn comic. Let's take a look at that, shall we? Because that's weird. There it is right here. A single Spider-Man page. Now, I assume it was the original art. Comic Relief Crusader, welcome back. Okay, buddy. I just said maybe I misunderstood, brother. Sorry about that, Michael. I misunderstood there. But I didn't read this whole story. I saw I glanced at this the other day. They're talking about the original art page, right? Obviously, from what this looks like, the page of original art. Wow. Is that from Secret Wars? Or from Spidey? I thought it was from Secret Wars. These people don't even know a Spider-Man comic from a I'll have to check the. All right, wait a minute now. Yeah, that's a Secret Wars, not a. They keep calling it a Spider-Man comic, but it was. They say Mike Zeck. Mike Zeck drew Secret Wars. He didn't draw Spidey at the time, so that's what confused. When I heard about this, I just said, "Oh, really? Whatever." I didn't pay much attention to this thing. So it's probably the original art piece. $3 million. Original art's expensive. Look, original art is stupid expensive at the best of times. You realize I own a Jack Kirby page from 1975 that I bought from Jack himself and Roz for $35, and it was just an incidental page from his Sandman comic number 5. Forget the page number at the top of my head. I own that, and God knows what it's worth now, but at the time, he sold it to me for $35. So original art's expensive. Right. Well, I wasn't all that familiar with the story, and to keep people, every dumb article says a Spider-Man page, a Spider-Man comic book from 1980, and then it says Mike, and I look and go, wait a minute, that's Mike Zeck, and that's him first putting on the stupid black costume. So there you go. I gave away original art to someone who emotionally needed it. I merely asked that he'd never sell it. There you go. Page 25, yeah, of Secret Wars, whatever. Yeah, I know I'm the only one that doesn't like Secret Wars. Did it one of these days, everyone remind me to tell you what I did to my copies of Secret Wars? It was evil. It was evil. Do we have any I don't know. I wonder what old Ditko pages of Spider-Man will be going for right now. I want. Yeah, Mexican Iron Man at the time in 1984 when that comic came out, it was basically, of course, we're talking about the first Secret Wars series. I was pretty old as a reader. I was 20 years old. That's old as a comic reader at that point. And I was running, in the comic business, and I was running a shop for somebody at that point. No, I think it was right after I quit, actually. But anyway, when it first came out, I was still in the shop. I thought Secret Wars, well, it was what it was. It was there to sell toys and crossovers. I just thought it had crappy art. Jim Shooter is a really stupid story. And please forgive me for this, everyone. It wasn't the biggest Mike Zeck fan out there. So Byrne and I have that in common. There you go. Wasn't the biggest Mike Zeck. So yeah, I thought Secret Wars Crisis was similar because Crisis was also done to really just done to rip off and to ruin continuity, at least from I thought it was. So there's the page right there. This is ridiculous. This page should not be worth that. You're right, Mike. It was all the rage, and this toys were, see, they had two different toy lines. It was Secret Wars for Marvel and Superpowers for DC, and they were both huge. I thought this. Didn't you think the Secret Wars toys were a little skinny? Anyone else thought that? A little skinny, maybe. But you're right. Secret Wars was huge at the time. Mike, no question about it, buddy. And back then, it just depended on, I don't know. I just thought the story was terrible. Did you know that did you Contest of Champions was a little bit better. There's only 3 issues. And that's what confused me when Secret Wars came out. It wasn't too long after Contest of Champions Phantom Outside, and I was like, what are they doing this for? Because it came out before Crisis on Infinite Earths. Marvel see, Marvel do, or DC see, DC do. It works both ways. And but Secret Wars was just to sell toys and extra issues through crossovers and stuff. Crisis was to sell toys. It was not to sell toys. It was to sell crossovers, and it was to streamline the continuity, which it made worse. I better not get started on Crisis, but yeah. So I remember back on maybe 8-9 years ago on Blog Talk Radio, maybe 10 years ago now, something like that. Another show and I got together. We did a crossover of our shows, sort of because to have an argument about it was pro versus con about Crisis on Infinite Earths. You could probably guess which position I took up. But we did it like a crossover. We did his show, then mine, right after the other, because it was Crisis on Infinite Earths and Crisis on Infinite Podcast, we called it, or something like that. And it was fun because it was kind of even at that time, people were like, wow, how could anyone not like Crisis on Infinite Earths? It was like 2010 we did this, maybe. I was like, it was shocking to people that I had a problem with Crisis. But at least it had way better art than no offense, but it had way better art than Secret Wars. That's right. Crisis was here for a reason. I don't know whose reason, but I know it was not to create compelling. So it wasn't. It was whose. I can tell you whose reason it was. It was Jeanette Kahn's reason. Jeanette Kahn wanted to quote unquote streamline continuity. She just screwed it all up even more. Steve Ditko's Amazing Spider-Man number 37 splash of page 1, Norman Osborn and Gwen Stacy, original art, Marvel 1966, current minimum business. Woo! Holy boop. Holy crap. Jesus H. Christ. Well, there you go. Yeah, that's nuts. I wonder what This, for those, do anyone of you know about Amazing Spider-Man #3 by Steve Ditko? I can't remember the page number, but there's a page on there where he's fighting Doc Ock. And Doc Ock calls Spider-Man Superman. It was a classic blunder, a classic no prize that happened. The letterer wrote Superman instead of Spider-Man. And it got past the printer. It was made. Later reprints, they changed that up and stuff, I guess. But they even cited it in the Marvel Nose Prize book in the early 80s. I wonder whoever owns that piece of original art. I don't know if I doubt it's someone in the Ditko family. Good night, Jackson Mama. Great to see you, my dear. Thank you for stopping by. So could you imagine having that piece of original art? That'd be amazing. I bet that would be worth millions. Someone has it out there, though. Probably. I mean, who knows? It could have gotten destroyed. Hungry Boy, what do you think the odds are that those Ditko pages exist and didn't get destroyed? We are talking about 1962. A lot of the original art was kept, but Kirby and Ditko weren't allowed to have them. I wonder if Ditko had it all till he passed or whatever. Probably not. So I wonder what happened to that page in the early pages, because they're out there. And again, original art's worth millions and millions of dollars anyway. But a page from Secret Wars shouldn't be. I mean, a few $100,000, yeah, I guess, because, the black costume's huge. I mean, that's for the rich boys there. The original art is for the rich boys. But, because, like I said, I got my pages I have, and I know they're worth quite a bit because it's not like this more than one of them. I mean, they're called original art for a reason. There's only one of a kind. Most of the pages have rotted because most people don't know how to keep them. But and there's the thing: Bristol alive properly, and that was a long time ago, and they weren't keeping those things safe. You're probably right. Ditko would sometimes draw Spidey in silhouette. That's where they got the Black Spider-Man from. Thank you, Matthew Pounder. Good point. Probably recall the Spider-Man animated series where they had... Yes, I was about to mention that. Where they did the Secret Wars episodes. Madam Web tells Spidey to recruit superheroes, and they all fight the Beyonder. Those were really bad, by the way. That show was... Some fans of that show would say it jumped the shark at that point when they did Secret Wars on that show. Oh, I remember watching those, though. But that's true. I thought I was looking at something else. Sorry. Remember when a letter changed a word into racial slur of Wolverine? Yeah. Oh, my. By the way, Hungry Boy might know this one. Even if the paper is acid-free, it has to be stored and preserved properly. That's why there's probably not much old original art yet left. I could love Sal's work if he was inked by Cockrum or Granger. Believe it or not, Hungry Boy, this is weird because I'm not the biggest Joe Staton fan, but I liked him as an inker on Sal. Don't ask me why. And I like Ernie. I know Ernie Chan overpowered him, but I like him on inking Sal as well. I know it's weird. Yeah. What about Alcala? Well, Alfredo Alcala overpowered everybody. I was reading a Marvel 2-in-1 with Ron Wilson pencils with Alfredo Alcala inking him. Boy, did he overpower him. What is that screen rant? Spider-Man, Superman, Marvel Comics there. What's that? What's that there? What is that link there, Mark? What is that ink there? But yeah, Dave Cockrum and Sam Granger, they were great as well. You agree, Sam? Great. Yep. He ain't when he ain't Sal very well on Hulk. It's interesting because I don't you don't think much you don't think of Staten as an inker that much. I loved Alcala inking Alcala. That's what I'll say. Yeah, I actually liked no. Oh, you know what? Another one, Pablo Marcos. That's what it was. I was reading a Pablo Marcos Marvel 2-in-1, not Alcala. I'm sorry. I shouldn't get the there are similar, but Pablo Marcos really overpowered people. Oh, Superman instead of Spider Man. Oh, you found it? Oh, sheet. You found a picture of that one, Mark? No, Alcala inked Starlin on that actually. On Feeding Billy there. Inked Starlin on that one, Steve. Hey, Monkey Jeebus. I was lucky enough to have Pablo ink 24 of my pages. Wow, really? I love him. But no, I like Pablo Marcos. I just said he overpowers, but in a good way. I mean, I liked him on Ron Wilson. It was a shame because sometimes Ron Wilson was given, I don't know, lesser anchors. Might want to say to be nice. Oh, okay, cool. So you found it. Gotcha. Yep, the '70s Filipino artists were great. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Ernie Chua. He was only Chua at DC though, wasn't he? He was like Chan most of the time. I mean, his real name was Chan, right? I loved Ernie Chan. Ron was ink chipped, yeah. Yeah, Matthew Pounder, the Filipino artist inkers. I mean, oh god. Again, Alcala and Pablo Marcos, but there were a few other ones. Was Carlos Garzon another one? I don't know. Garzon was an interesting. I liked him. Not get me wrong. I was reading the new issue of the only magazine that could be called the new issue of Back Issue magazine, the latest issue of that, which I love. And that's interesting, by the way. I should show a little bit of that there. It came out this week, and it's all about one of the great miniseries of all time. Excuse me. Nebres. Okay, Nebres is one of them. Nebres is no. By the way, Gil Kane loved Nebres. It was another inker he didn't like that I got him mixed up, but Gil Kane loved Rudy Nebres. Thank you for the $2 super chat, Max Redstone. I really appreciate that, buddy. Just deem you a Blake 7 meme. It's derivative art. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Alex Nino, I remember him. Nino, Nestor Redondo, Rudy Nebres. Okay. Great artists. God, they were good, man. And wasn't and then there was what about the Arabic artist? Was he Arabic? What Mike Nasser? Wasn't he Arabic? I liked Mike Nasser, even though I know he was just ripping off Neil Adams. Uh, let's see. What's that? Let's see here. Oh, okay. Let's see. The word. Tell us the word. Teleport. I'm sorry we didn't hear the word. I love that. I love that episode. I love the episode Hostage. The word. The word is a word. I love it. I love that. By the way, Mexican Iron Man, dude. I don't know if you're still here, bro, but sent me something interesting. Just a little while ago. I randomly thought of Mark today and have been thinking about him all weekend. Oh, tonight I re-listened to the Christmas show. I miss our dear friend, and I thank God that the two of you are in my life. Just wanted you to know this one. Oh my goodness, one. I'm sure I didn't mean to read that out loud, but I'm glad I did because I missed him. I miss him big time too, Mike. Thank you so much for those wonderful words, buddy. We love Mexican Iron Man around here, folks. He's a superhero to all of us. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. You need to come hang out with me one of these nights. I know you're a busy man, but come hang out and let's just talk comics. Let's talk about Iron Man versus the Flash or something like that. It could be anything, man. But if you come on, hang out. Oh yeah, Tony DeZuniga. A lot of those great artists. Is Hostage your favorite episode? Well, it's a great episode. I made like I said, I have a top 20. I mean, a ranking list actually. Let's see here. For animation, used a ton of. Try to find. DeZuniga, yeah. Nasser was Jewish Israeli. Okay, thank you. Because I think he went back over there, but he did a lot of. I mean, he did a lot. Did a little stuff, but he did a pretty good. I mean, he was just doing Adams, of course. All right, D Bud. Good night, bro. Appreciate you. I'm glad Filipino comics artist Steve Gann was credited in Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh yeah, I remember him. And Steve DeZuniga for co-creating Jonah Hex. Yes, I love DeZuniga. A lot of people don't know how many, about those Filipino artists and even some of the Latino artists and things like that. I've told Polly about them a little bit, and others, and from where some of them come from. You don't know that when you're a kid. You just see the names. Just like you don't know about the black artists like Ron Wilson, Keith Pollard, Billy Graham, the different Billy Graham, the other Billy Graham. Yeah, I mean, it was Dennis Cowan, right? Christopher Priest, he was a writer, actually. Jim Owsley. But he was a writer, but still the guys who worked in the business, just of course you don't know that because you don't see pictures of people. So, but yeah. Great stuff. Okay, here we go. The latest issue of Back Issue, the new issue of Back Issue, which I love, is pretty cool. Well, let's see here. Where are you? Okay. And I was thinking of you when I was reading it, Hungry Boy. And I was also thinking about the old, my old Southland Comics days, Steve. Michael Dudowitz. I'm not sure. I don't know if I know that name, sir. Let's see. What the hell? Oh. I just learned that Coletta's father had to come to the States because he ran afoul of the mafia in Sicily. Wow. Yes, the Southland days. Here's some memories, because you know what, this comic really just. I mean, I never was the biggest Wolverine guy, but this was a great comic. Come on, you. Load. It'll load in a second. It's cool and slow. Trevor Von Eden, also a black gentleman. That's right. Yes, Trevor Von Eden. Hostage is a bit of everything I love about Blake's Seven Pursuit ships, Blake and Travis, Avon and Blake, Blake and his cousin, Servalan versus everyone. The topper, the space commander, was Mr. It was Mr. Fibuli. That's right. Wow. But, also Mr. Fibuli. But also there's some funny Villa stuff, too. Some good Villa moments. Hostage is a good one. I have to see where I ranked it. But anyone remember this miniseries? The Wolverine miniseries. This issue of back issue is about it's about the 1980s limited series, and probably no bigger one than this one. And this image here from Wolverine #1. Steve Mitchell, do you remember the Southland Comics T-shirts? I wish I still had it. I remember Thriller. I think I bought Thriller for a while. He also did a crazy Batman annual. Trevor Von Eden, of course, co-created Black Lightning. No, not Barry Windsor Smith. That's Frank Miller and Joe Rubinstein. I bought that in Bondi Junction, Australia when it came out. Well, we got it late due to shipping Rubinstein's inked rock. Rubinstein is just, look, I like Miller. And Dick Giordano taught. He said, I was reading in this how he's talking about how Dick Giordano taught him and Klaus Janson how to ink. If he could have inked, I like Klaus Janson fine. I really did. I don't hate him. A lot of people don't like him. I got friends that don't like Janson. I like him. But if he inked all of Miller's stuff, holy crap, Rubinstein. Of course, he inked Byrne as well. Yes, we made this cover into a shirt. We used this image. And our comic chapter said Southland Comics, Science Fiction, and Movie Memorabilia or whatever. The days. Them's were the days, folks. But here's the thing about this. Frank Miller was also still doing Daredevil at the time. And he did not. He only did layouts on this thing. Miller only did the layouts. That's right. There's the cover, though. We were going nuts for this thing when it came out. Nuts. Oh, wow. Hungry Boy. Cool. I had a buddy of mine that was getting some of his art inked by. This is years and years ago. He used to pay Rubinstein to ink some of his stuff back in, I think, in the early 2000s or whatever, in the 90s. Yeah. I like Klaus Janson. I think it's pretty good. But anyway, this was our T-shirt right here. Remember, you remember that now, Steve? I don't know if we were selling them or we just had those for the shop, and we didn't sell them because we weren't allowed to sell them. First Marvel Limited Series, Hercules, by, I think it was Mark. I love the Hercules miniseries of Bob Layton. I think it was before this, but I could be getting it backwards, buddy. You know how that is. But I love that comic. That's one you and I should do, Mark D. We should review that Hercules Prince of Power. Yeah. I wish I still had this shirt. I know it wouldn't fit. I wouldn't care. If I still had it, man, oh man. Oh man, I wish I still had it. Anyway, this is a great article. I love Back Issue Magazine. Look how young Frank Miller was. That's what he looked like. Pretty much what he looked like when I met him. Yeah, and there's Chris Claremont and Louise Simonson. And Joe Rubenstein. Yeah. Oh, that page. What? Oh. So, I don't know if any of you care about Back Issue Magazine, but I love it, man. And this has a great article about how Miller just did the layouts. I mean, this art was a lot of this was Rubenstein. It's not like when Jansen would ink him. Miller did full pencils, but he was very busy. Now that's Frank Miller layouts. In fact, they put this, they credit it. If you can see there, it's kind of small to see. It said Frank Miller, penciler, Joe Rubenstein, finisher. But they talk in this article about how it's layouts. So that's Rubenstein right there. Yes, Rubenstein was a cutie. This is beautiful stuff, though. Well, they said layouts. Joe Rubenstein said layouts, and I think Miller said it too. Rubenstein, the beautiful, yeah. Rubenstein, he did a great job inking Hatchwork. I don't know what Hatchwork is. He did he inked Byrne on Byrne's Captain America run. That was nice. Let's see here. So this is amazing stuff. Clearly, so much different from Jansen. He was just amazing. I'm Wolverine. I'm the best at what I do. What I do is not very nice. Yeah, and they talked about this. Is a great article. They were talking about how that was the zeitgeist. I mean, in comic shops, no, we could not stop talking about this in the comic shop, and I'm sure it was like that for all comics or everywhere comics were being discussed. Man, and I was not at this time. I didn't hate Wolverine or love him. I liked him in that issue, that Byrne did, in that X-Men issue, Wolverine Alone. That's what got this kind of to happen. They said they wanted to give another an X-Men a title that wasn't real. They wanted to give it to one that hadn't really been given any kind of backstory. And at the time in X-Men, they haven't done much with Wolverine. He had met Mariko, that girl that he was in love with, in an earlier issue of X-Men. But other than that, and they said that this was at they were going to a party, a pre San Diego Comic-Con party at I forgot whose house they said it was. They name dropped somebody. And they decided, make it Wolverine. It was let's see here. Whose party were they going to? But he talks about how Dick Giordano taught him all how to ink. Oh yeah, they're going to Mark Evaniers' house. That's right, Mark Evaniers' house. Yes. Yes, this was when Rubenstein also inked Cockrum beautifully on Dave's Return of the X-Men in the 80s. Yes, and this is when Miller could draw. Miller, and again, you know more about this stuff than I do, Hungry Boy, but to me, it seems to me when he went to do Ronin for DC, and then after that Dark Knight, he changed his style or did he relax his style? I don't know what you want to call it, but he was influenced by manga and stuff like that, I guess, especially for Ronin, which I didn't like all that much, like a lot of people did. I don't know. It takes expertise to write about hatching solid inks and white space to have an appealing balance and support the story point. But this was big time stuff back then, man. We just were nuts for it. And anyway, this is, of course, this particular issue is about. Sorry, I went too far back. This particular issue is about miniseries in the 80s. And I just, I love this magazine. This magazine rocks, man. Whoa. Keep going too far. Damn it. Why do I keep going too damn far? These things jump on you a little bit. So, yeah, there you go. So, yeah. And it wasn't too long. Not too much time went by because this was right before Ronin. Right before Ronin came out. He was working on Ronin at the time, I believe. Ronin was the end of the good stuff, sadly. I agreed. I wasn't that big on Ronin. Maybe I bought it. Again, I'm thinking, probably talked about this before. You remember the owner of Mouthland Comics, Steve Mitchum, the guy who owned it. We argued about ordering Ronin because he said, well, look, this is Frank Miller. It's going to sell a bazillion copies. It was in a very slick, very thick format that was not really heard of at that point. And maybe it wasn't quite prestige. I think it was still staple back, but it was still staple back, but it was thick. And it was unlike any comic you'd ever felt or seen. And they thought, Frank Miller's gigantic. He's a fan favorite. It's going to just sell. It's going to sell like gangbusters. And my argument was, well, look, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward to reading it. I couldn't wait to read it. But I said, you got to understand, this is not even an established character like Daredevil, who was, by the way, bi-monthly before Miller took over. This is not Batman or Spider-Man or somebody like that. This is a completely new character, and this was an expensive comic for back then. I can't remember the exact cover price of Ronin, but it was a big comic. There was no ads. It was direct sales. And I was telling him, I just think that we might want to not order too many of these things. People will like it. I mean, I'm looking forward to it, but you got to kind of hold up on them horses a little bit because this is not an X-Men or something like that. It might scare some people off. We're going to have to push it and tell people. Well, I will tell people. All I'm going to tell them is it's Frank Miller. His name, for example, just goes to show you. His name was big on Daredevil, but it was still within the comics industry. When he did Batman, it combined his popularity with one of the most popular characters ever in Batman. So when you put him with a Wolverine, even Wolverine wasn't that big at that point. He was just popular in the X-Men, but it was one of the most popular comic books. I just said Ronin's, and we got stuck with a lot of copies of Ronin, especially the last couple of issues. Then he comes out with Dark Knight, and boom, well, you know how that goes. You were able to trade a Wolverine issue from that series for $25 for art supplies. Wow, there you go. That's pretty cool. Nice. Matthew Bunner says he totally ripped off. Is it Joseki? Is it Joseki or is it Joseki Kojima later on? Yep. Well, wow. I must admit, I'm not familiar with this. Is that a manga artist or what? Anyway, remember, and here's some of the other series that were there that they cover in this issue. Magic. Let's see here. Big John Buscema. Won't show the whole issue, but show a few things. This was an interesting article right here about Machine Man. This was a really interesting article. This was about, the Machine Man miniseries with Herb Trimpe being inked by Barry Windsor-Smith. It was pretty fascinating. This article about the behind the scenes on this was really interesting. I won't go into it and bore everybody, but I thought it was great. All right, Steve Mitchell, take it easy, bro. We're not too far behind you. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for hanging out with us. Oh, that was the guy who did Lone Wolf and Cub? Okay, I forgot his name. And he did the covers for Lone Wolf and Cub. I bought Lone Wolf. See, I should know better. I should be put to the back of the class. Good. See you later, Pop Culture Republic, because I bought Lone Wolf and Cub for years with the Miller covers. So thank you, Comic Relief Crusader. I should burn in the everlasting flames of dumbass damnation for that. I like Lone Wolf and Cub. Where are we at? But yeah, this was interesting. That some of the stuff they say. Well, what was it? Let's just look at the picture, shall we? Who bought this series in the 80s? He said that Herb Trimpe wasn't really that fond of his inks on Barry Windsor-Smith, but Barry Windsor-Smith said he had forgotten how to draw comics. He'd been out for a while, and he loved Herb Trimpe. He said Herb Trimpe kind of reminded him how to draw comics. Taught him a lot. I mean, that's crazy hearing that from of course, I love her. I'm a fan. I love Herb Trimpe. That's crazy hearing something like that from Barry Windsor-Smith. But I thought that was pretty interesting to hear him say something like that. But yeah, he didn't like it. He didn't really like Windsor-Smith inking him. Weird, wild stuff. I agree, Matthew Pounder. What amazing stuff. So yeah, this was a good article. Let's see what else. I know I'm not supposed to. Well, I mean, I could share. They don't care. I bought the paid for the damn thing, but yeah, this was really good stuff, though. I didn't buy a lot of these Marvel miniseries in the 80s, though, but I know a lot of people did. I didn't really care for the Kitty Pryde Wolverine. Anybody buy that one? I didn't buy that one. I bet Mark D bought it. I bet Matthew bought it. Did you buy that one? Who bought Kitty Pryde Wolverine? You can raise your hand. I don't think I bought this one, though. Oh, Comic Relief Crusader. I love Archer and Armstrong, man. Great stuff. I knew Mark D had it. Shooter crud. Oh my goodness, good one. Hungry boy. Shooter crud. Yeah. I remember this one. Iceman miniseries. Spider-Man and his amazing zoo crew. Yeah, it's just I don't care whether it was a series I bought or not. I can look at these old comics from the 80s all day. It can be whether I even liked it or not. Now, when I look back on it, I just I don't know. Just love it. I didn't buy this Punisher miniseries, but a lot of people loved it. You blew it, Crantor. Well done, Max Redstone. Enjoy. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. And I enjoyed the that meme, and I love the all the Blake 7 quotes, man. You know, even when it may have been awful back then, but now what I'm just sort of well disposed towards it. I got to get some of these books, man. I got to get that Mac Rayboy book and the Reed Crandall book and the Hero a Go-Go book. I got the Mike Grell book. I need the email. See, I want all these damn books. Damn it. Super Team crossovers. I know you bought this one, Mark. I didn't buy it because I was aggravated with I didn't really like the art on it. You bought this one. Tell me you bought this one. You know you want to. You know you did. Did you bought this one? Don't even pretend you didn't buy it when you bought it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Let's see here. Fantastic Four versus the X-Men. Eldritch Lord Hester, what's up? Of course you did. I knew you bought it. Oh dear. Let's see. Nothing wrong with that. Mephisto versus the Avengers. I know you bought this one. Don't pretend like you didn't. You did. What's weird to me is how, whether I bought it or not, I remember it. I mean, I could have totally not even bought it, but I remember it. Now, this one, Nick Fury versus S.H.I.E.L.D., this was an interesting comic. The Steranko cover is just fantastic. Real deal Nick Fury right there, folks. But yes, I don't know. This is a weird thing. I hadn't thought about that much, but I guess all those years of exposure to all those comics, working in comic shops, owning comic shop, all that stuff. A lot of times when I look back, oh, you feel Haster's not feeling well. Oh man. Well, I hope you feel better, buddy. Get well soon, sir. I hope so. No way. I would not do that to you, hungry boy, or to any of us. But you see, when I look at some of these comics now, you know, your memory gets, muddled. And so I'll look at all these old comics, and every single one of them I've seen at one point, touched somewhere, like I was selling it to somebody, bagging it and boarding it, flipping through it at the comics or whatever it was. But now I look back and I'll see something, because I believe, like, Mark's different. Mark knows he bought that stuff. Now I guess because I handled so much of it, I can look back at a comic and go, "Oh yeah, I bought that." No, wait a minute. It's in my memory because I've seen it, right? But I'll go, no, I didn't buy it. I sold it. I bought it. I know that comic book. But now, because I've seen so many of them and handled so many, I can't, unless it's a certain ones I'm pretty sure about, I'll go, I can't remember if I bought that one or not. I saw it. I sold it. I touched it. I don't know if I flipped it. Maybe even read it. But I can't remember if I actually bought it and took it home and kept it in my collection. Some I can. Well, I hope you get better soon, Eldrick. Eldritch Lord Hoster, buddy. Indeed, sir. But this one, I remember just liking the covers. I'm trying to remember the interior art. There you go. Paul Neary. I wasn't. I don't know, but this is pretty. It's okay stuff. I love how Steranko would paint like 1966 paperback covers and 1970s Italian movie posters. Yeah, Steranko, man, he's still alive and kicking too. He's a pistol on Twitter. I love Jim Steranko. Yeah, and these covers are amazing. Speaking of bagging and boarding, please tune in tomorrow at noon for the Real BBC. Keely Chow says, "Well, I try to when I can. I like it. I love Gary and Ass and Nina especially. Well, she's better. Yeah, and of course, I love that show because there's something therapeutic. I don't have any bags and boards right now. Nothing to bag and board about just sitting there with a gigantic pile of comics to bag and board because I've done it so much. I love doing that actually. I don't have any comics that I care about bag and boarding now, and bags and boards are expensive. But I got tons of this magazine I'm showing to you right here, Back Issue Magazine, that I want to get. I need to get magazine bags and boards and boxes for, but they're friggin' expensive. Otherwise, I would sit there and do that and watch the show and bag and board with them. I enjoyed that. But these were some nifty covers for Nick Fury versus Shield. Real deal Nick Fury. Top left Nick Fury versus Shield #2, Bill Sienkiewicz. Covered by M.D. Bright. That's Mark Bright, I guess. Joe Jusko, the great. I love Joe Jusko. And then Kevin Nowlan cover. I say Nowlan because it's a W. It could be Nolan. What was it, Hungry Boy? Anyway, so yeah, this is good to see this one. I love this cover right here. Tom Palmer. How often did he do stuff like that? Strange. I got a long box to bag and board. When are you coming over to help? I'll come help you. Yeah. I would knock it out in 2 seconds. I once bagged and boarded over the course of like a year or so, well over, I don't know, God, I can't, like I could have counted it. Hundreds. Actually, in the early 80s when I first did it, it was a collection of maybe it was close to 100,000 comics. I can't remember. It wasn't quite that many, but it was somewhere up in there. And we didn't have boards. When I bagged them, I rebagged them. And I think I told the story. I made my own system, and I wrote. I had to write these little stickers in hand. This is 1982 or 3, and stickers. What the comic was, and because I was cataloging all of our back issues for this we had a gigantic. I mean, he had tons and tons of comics that he'd gotten from all over the place. The guy I was working for, and I made a system. So I would put on these tags. I wrote, what the comic was and stuff like that. For my own collection, I was doing that and then writing an extra tag for who wrote it and drew it and stuff. But I just did the, I basically had to write the prices and what the comic was and everything, and to keep them stored in our back stock. Did it over the course of a couple of years, just slowly, but for once, like just months and months and months, but nonstop. And anyway, many years later, after I already left the shop, I'm talking 10, 12 years later, whatever it was, 8, 9, 12, somewhere up in there, whatever it was, ballpark. On a number of occasions, I would go to a shop. One time I went to a shop as far off as I believe Houston or Dallas, somewhere up. It was, nowhere near where I lived, down in Louisiana. And I'm flipping through the back issues. It happened to me a couple times in Louisiana before that, but I'm way away from there. Because, I left there and he ended up selling these comics everywhere. And I'm looking at these comics. They're not boarded. just a bunch of comics he's got in the cheap folder thingy, and I keep seeing this handwriting that looks familiar and all these damn stickers on these comics. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, whoa, wait a minute, whoa, holy shit, that's my handwriting. I remember. Wait a minute, that jackass. I mean, I knew he sold off all that collection all over the place, but I didn't really mean all over the place. But I guess he did. It was huge. No one person grabbed it all. So I was finding comics with my, in a comic shop I'd never been to with my damn handwriting on the stickers. Anyway, it was a weird feeling, and it happened, like I said, fairly closer to some shops around the not surrounding area, but in a couple of the surrounding states, but a little bit farther off. I'm like, whoa, strange, weird, wild stuff. Anyway, so yeah, there you go. So there we looked at some comics art, and there's your buddy Dennis Cowan right there on that Black Panther series there, Hungry Boy. That was something. Well, I'll tell you what, my friends, you've all been so fantastic hanging out with me tonight. Listen to me yibber yabber about nothing. And I agree with that, Pounder, Mr. Matthew Pounder. I agree that Gulacy does owe a lot to Steranko for sure. Steranko owes a lot to Kirby. So, and he'd admit it, I'm sure. Well, my friends, I thank you so much for being here. I'm sorry I didn't have any kind of show for you. Sorry, I just yabbered about crap like a dumbass. I wasn't able to get together my material for the show tonight. I just thought I would hang with you, and we did it. So we did it, and we got it over with. What can we do? But man, seeing you all, hanging out with you all is always fantastic, and I really appreciate everyone who stopped in with us tonight. Wednesday night, I may try to make up a topic. I don't know, but if not, I'll be here anyway. And of course, Clobby's Clubhouse Thursday night, and then Saturday night Star Trek. I'll be here geeking at you. That's for sure. Thank you, Hungry Boy. I appreciate you so much. Thanks to the great Chief Engineer Mark D with the C. Hope you're feeling better, brother. Matthew Pounder, thank you so much for being here. Love talking comics with you and Phantom Outsider and D-Bud and Mexican Iron Man. Thank you so much, my friend, for you. Keely Chow. I think did Catman pop in earlier? I believe so. Who else was here? Eldritch Lords Hastard. Thank you, buddy. I hope you feel better, my friend. The Comic Relief Crusader. Pop Culture Republic popped in, I believe. Who else? The great Eric K., the Bronze Wrencher, was here. Good to see you there, bro. Who else was here? Who else was there? Tim's Talk popped in earlier. Appreciate you there, buddy. The Thomas Guilt, the Guilt Man popped in. I think that's the first time I'd seen him pop in, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you for that. What was the gentleman? Something to do with relaxing. I'm sorry, I'm bad at names. I apologize if I missed or forgot anyone. The great Steve Mitchum, of course, he was here. Mr. Angel was here, of course. I hate to miss anyone out, but you know how I am when I don't write it down. So, anyone else who popped in? Max Redstone was here. Great to see you, Max. Thank you so much, Matthew. The lovely Sherry pop in earlier. I think she might have. I'm so used to seeing her, I can't remember if she did. Well, it doesn't matter. She's so beautiful. We shout her out no matter what, but I think she did. Well, thank you again. Kal-El, brother, thank you so much. You know how my dumb memory is, man. I forget. It's terrible. Old and terrible. So, let's see here. I don't know what's going on for tomorrow night, other than me going out and hanging out. I got my geek hangout I got to do tomorrow night. I hang out with a bunch of local geeks at I made my reminder about it even finally. Yeah. So, thank you, and of course a big thank you out to Paulie for having me on with him earlier, and a big thank you to the great Stone Loki for his magnificent intro outro. Good night, everyone, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the week, and I can't wait to see you out there on the streams. Clobber on, clobberers. Oliver Belamonte, thank you.